This evening, bandit shot dead in broad daylight attempted robbery. Accomplice injured. Calls for Keith Scott to be removed as junior minister, even as President Granger undertakes another reshuffle of his cabinet. In Jamaica, a massive cocaine bust linked to a rice shipment from Guyana. And promise kept as first homeowners receive keys under government's housing project.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Join us. A former prison officer who was identified as a bandit was shot and killed on Tuesday morning during an attempted robbery along Railway Embankment Road. His accomplice was also injured. Police are piecing together information that could lead them further in their investigations following a daring daylight robbery attempt that left one bandit dead and his accomplice fleeing the scene for medical treatment at the Georgetown Public Hospital. The police have confirmed that Troy Monroe, a former prison officer who was fired in March, was shot and killed in the incident. Reports identified him as an alleged bandit who was shot by a private security escort accompanying two businessmen from the Eugene F. Correa International Airport at Ogle. A .32 caliber pistol, matching rounds, as well as handbags and mail bags containing cash and gold were in Mr. Monroe's possession. Monroe's accomplice was also injured in the incident and is said to be speaking with detectives after he was transported to the hospital. President David Granger is this evening being asked to remove Keith Scott, junior minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, over comments made about Amerindian land ownership. Minister Scott is being accused of making racist comments when he addressed the matter. Here is Wendell Jeffrey.
George, it was just a few days ago that the David Granger-led administration committed to working with the National Two-Shows Council, the NTC. But all of the collective work completed could be gone as President Granger is being asked to remove Junior Minister Keith Scott for comments made about the Amerindian land ownership. Minister Scott made remarks during a speech in Parliament which suggested that the Amerindians were being unreasonable in their desire to have their land ownership increased from 13.8% to 23% of Guyana's land mass. The minister went on to suggest that if the Amerindians got the increase, they should also forfeit their rights to any possible oil wealth. However, the NTC is not taking the minister's remarks lightly.
I think what would have been more in line is to see Keith Scott sanctioned because of his insults to the indigenous peoples, and also to potentially have him removed as a minister. You cannot have a minister preaching that kind of thing in the highest house in the land.
That was Lennox Schumann, the vice president of the National Two-Shows Council. Further, Schumann called on the president to sanction Minister Scott or face collective action from the Amerindian community.
I think Keith Scott doubled down on something, and at this point, I would tell you from the NTC side now, that if some sanction is not meted out against Keith Scott for his irresponsible remarks, then you are going to have to deal with it from the indigenous side. Let's turn the tables around.
Okay.
Imagine if Minister Ali Cox stood up in Parliament and said that about another ethnic group in Guyana. Do you think that he would still be sitting in Parliament today? Do you think that his constituents, that his supporters, or the people who support the administration would simply sit there and accept it and say, you know what, yes, Minister Ali Cox is blah, blah, blah. It is not only derogatory, it is outright, it borders very, very heavily on racism.
George, Mr. Schumann said that he is not sure if the government will appreciate what the Amerindian community will do, but that the Amerindians do not plan to settle until their demands for the minister's removal are met. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. And we stay in politics. A major sign that the Ministry of Social Cohesion was being phased out was when the Chief Whip and senior PNC member, Amna Ali, was transferred from the ministry and the embattled minister, Dr. George Norton, was sent to head that ministry. At the time, Dr. Norton, who was previously the Minister of Health, had hinted that the move was a demotion. However, yesterday, Minister Norton might have gotten back to a more favorable status within the Granger-led coalition. Wendell Jeffrey is following the developments.
George, for what might be the first time in the history of Guyana, one minister will head two substantive ministries. That is because, in yet another shake-up of his cabinet, President David Granger has reassigned another of his ministers. George Norton, who is a medical doctor, started in the current APNU administration as the substantive Minister of Public Health. During an embroilment over the storage of pharmaceuticals at the Sussex Street storage bond, he was transferred to the Ministry of Social Cohesion. Once transferred, Minister Norton remarked that the new ministry had a smaller budget than that of the previous ministry. However, after just a few months at the Social Cohesion Ministry, Minister Norton is on the move again. On Monday, he was reassigned to the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, which encompasses the largest single budget. George, if you can recall, the Amerindian community in Guyana took offense to the removal of Dr. Norton from the Ministry of Health. At the time, the Amerindians had noted that he was being punished, while other ministers who had done similar questionable things were never punished. Some are questioning if this latest move might not be a way of the Granger administration appeasing the Amerindian community. Speaking of the record, one of the senior Tushaus said that if indeed the president is seeking to appease the Amerindian community by this move, it is a very poor attempt. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Coming up on Headline News after the break, we'll tell you about that massive cocaine bust in Jamaica linked to a Guyanese shipment of rice. And a promise made has been kept. Stay with us.
Is making it affordable for you to go back to school in style with your favorite brands. From now until August 31st, shop and get 10% off selected school shoes and backpacks. You can get bags from Princess, Ben 10, Polo, Swiss, JanSport, trolley bags, and lunch kits and bags. Or shoes from LRX, Hush Puppies, Polo, Timberlands, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, and Skechers, all at Clearance. Clearance, always keeping you in style.
John Lewis Styles proudly introduces Everest Bags, a complete and affordable line especially suited for back to school. Lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, pulley backpacks from $10,995. Also available are messenger bags, computer bags, waist pouches, duffel bags, gym bags, and even camping bags, all for the same price or less than buying online. And it's already here on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
I can be your flame, light up the night, like a shooting star blaze through the sky.
This is not an introduction. This is something that is a culmination of all the work that we've done, starting with really when GTT came to Guyana in 1991, and really when we landed the on the sea fiber optic cable. What we're doing now is running fiber to the homes, which is something that is seen in the largest cities in North America. This will change lives. And that really is what motivated us. We want to change lives. Blaze. What Blaze really symbolizes is speed, security, getting internet to your home so that you can do more with the internet. It's really a piece of work with all the teams, the technical, the commercial, everybody coming together to bring fast, reliable, secure broadband to your home. So we've got the capacity to provide the country with significant amounts of bandwidth. And what this is now we bring in the bandwidth to your home. Blaze will change your life because you will be able to connect to your loved ones and everybody in the world. The tech team really inspires me. It really inspires the team, and it really drives what we do at GTT. So today, the guys are doing a Blaze installation, and it's not just about climbing on the poles, running the wiring, and installing the equipment. It's about forming that relationship with you. It's about ensuring that you're comfortable with the installation, you're comfortable with people in your home. And we train our guys with all the social graces to ensure that you're comfortable. Our engineers are installing Blaze high-speed internet. And what you'll get is internet that is reliable, it's fast, and it's secure. So I encourage you to get Blaze internet inspired by you.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you have a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying. Jamaican officials are investigating a cocaine find in a shipment of rice that originated in Guyana. Wendell Jeffrey has more details.
George, Jamaican law enforcement officials are expected to start communicating with their Guyanese counterparts following the discovery of a large quantity of cocaine valued close to $1 million concealed in a shipment of rice from Guyana via the Dominican Republic. According to reports from the reggae country, the multi-million-dollar discovery was made at the Kingston Container Terminal on Monday. Media reports indicate that the rice was destined for a Jamaican distributor whom the detectives were trying to locate. Reports are that a search was made on the 40-foot container, which revealed a total of 5 leather bags hidden among the shipment. According to information, some bags had a total of 78 parcels, each containing a white powdery substance resembling cocaine. The new discovery resembles a similar bust made just a few months ago in Jamaica when officials seized more than 165 pounds of cocaine in a container shipped from Guyana and Suriname. An operation at the Kingston Freeport terminal led to that find. The 4 containers, when searched, contained 56 parcels of cocaine. Reports then revealed that 2 containers were shipped from Guyana, each containing 2 traveling bags, one with 31 parcels of cocaine and the other with 12 parcels of cocaine. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. The government is making good on its promise to deliver affordable turnkey homes for Guyanese. The first set of homes under the initiative were handed over today, and we were in attendance to capture the happy homeowners.
This duplex was built during the month of May for our exhibition, housing exhibition, and we're happy to know that you responded and you came through, you've made your full payment, and today it's a pleasure to give you your keys, my dear. So, welcome to the Model Village as the first beneficiary.
This moment is significant because it marks the fulfillment of a promise made by this David Granger's administration. A promise to house citizens of Guyana. This morning, Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Mistress Valerie Adams Yearwood, handed over the keys to the first 2 residents of the model community at Perseverance, East Bank, Demerara.
Home, as everybody knows, this is the biggest step in life, although I'm getting up there in life. And it's a wonderful opportunity to own my own home for the first time. And it's a big investment, as everybody knows, it's a lifetime investment. And as the minister said, I should care it and look after it. It's going to be a model home, and I intend to do that.
The Ministry of Communities, through its recently held housing drive, seeks to ease the backlog of applications that exist in their system. Ms. Deborah Wilson applied for housing in 1993. Mr. Prasad has been waiting for over a decade. This housing drive is a departure from the systems pushed by the previous administration, which only distributed housing lots, not homes. Due to the high cost of construction, home ownership was practically out of reach for many Guyanese, even after being given land to build on, a fact that is not lost on Mr. Prasad.
I think this is a better opportunity for me because it's already built, and I think the price is right, and I think, personally, I would prefer something like this. If a duplex, or this is the first time I think I've seen a duplex in Guyana. A lot of people are saying that they prefer the elevated, but it doesn't matter to me. It's just that it's somewhere to live and to own my own home for the first time.
Minister Adams Yearwood also indicated that the housing drive will also move into regions 2, 3, 4, and 10. For Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Anicia Joseph.
A family believes there is more information that needs to be told about the accident at Good Fortune that claimed the life of Joseph James, a father of 3. Here is Esther Sobers.
A father of 3 died following a vehicular accident in Good Fortune early Saturday morning. We visited the relatives of Joseph James and spoke with his grieving sister, Gloria Lewis, who recounted what happened the night of the accident.
Saturday morning, we heard a news come to me that Joseph was on the East Bank, died, and went in an accident and died on the East Bank. So my niece called me from where I'm living and told me that my brother died. And we leave, pick up my brother, and we leave and we go over there. And when we go over there, the body was already moved from there. So we asked where the body was, and they said the body gone to the hospital.
Lewis added that a medical report stated that her brother died of broken bones. She also noted that the driver gave conflicting statements about what transpired.
He come up with an alibi and say that people was robbing him. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable for that he could, but he was underneath the influence of alcohol, the police told us. So he couldn't even even consider for mashy brakes to save a life.
The dead man's mother said her son was loving and caring and didn't deserve to die the way he did.
When the father died, he went in my belly, and he born but 2 months after.
The family is seeking justice for Joseph.
Justice for my son. Justice I want, yes. Justice. It's so painful.
I'm Esther Sobers reporting for Channel 2 Headline News.
Thanks, Esther. Still ahead, what you need to know about overtime pay. And hear why Trinidad is the top pick for illegal immigrants. Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
John Lewis Styles proudly introduces Everest Bags, a complete and affordable line especially suited for back to school. Lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, pulley backpacks from $10,995. Also available are messenger bags, computer bags, waist pouches, duffel bags, gym bags, and even camping bags, all for the same price or less than buying online. And it's already here on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
The work week is 40 hours, and if an employee is made to work beyond that, then it is categorized as overtime, for which the employer must pay. That is the stern warning from Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Mr. Keith Scott. The minister is asking that all those who think that they are being cheated out of what is rightfully theirs file complaints with the Ministry of Labor. Wendell Jeffrey was there when the minister warned the employers, and he filed this report.
George, the junior minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Keith Scott, is noting that some of the security services are taking financial advantage of their employees.
The main complaints in the realm of failure to pay wages, failure to pay prescribed wages, and failure to pay overtime rates of pay are all in contravention of the Labor Act number 9801. Yet, in spite of clear and unambiguous advice from this ministry, some service providers continue to pay lower wages. Since 2013, the National Minimum Wage Order established a 40-hour week, with those hours to be distributed over 5 days. But there are some employers, inclusive of service providers, who have adopted a 6-day week, encompassing more than 40 hours, and still refuse to pay overtime wages.
The minister was speaking at a conference call to address this and other matters related to the private security services providers. The minister said that his government will not allow this abuse, and he asked that persons report the offending parties to the relevant authorities.
I see the reality and agree with the female security ranks should not work at certain hours. But again, I'm saying about the logicality of it. We must realize that male security personnel is a very difficult commodity in this day and age.
That was Roshan Khan, of RK Security Services, addressing the minister's notion that senior folks and females should not be working at certain hours. Mr. Khan then made these comments.
Most of the males who are muscular, very good looking, and seems very intelligent are usually at Lot 12, Camp Street, Mazaruni, and Luzaknan, and so forth. This is one of the, Honorable Minister, this is one of the realities of life that we have got to face. I recall years ago in our good government, elected by the people of this country, considering this matter, will create a very beautiful stipend for these females to stay home, give them the conditions and the benefits so that they don't have to come out and work at nights, so they don't have to work extras.
For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
In news from the region, Trinidad and Tobago is being labeled as a top location for illegal immigrants. This, according to a Swiss group known as the Global Detention Project. We hear more from C News.
Trinidad and Tobago is being labeled as a top location for illegal immigrants. This according to Switzerland group, the Global Detention Project. The information was revealed in an online report titled Trinidad and Tobago Immigration Detention Profile. In the report, the project said there are currently 100,000 undocumented migrants living in this country. The report deemed Trinidad and Tobago as one of the wealthiest countries in the Caribbean that has framed efforts to increase detention and deportation as a matter of national security. The report said in 2014, the Immigration Detention Center held 131 foreign nationals, with Jamaicans reportedly making up the largest portion, followed by Guyanese and Africans. The Global Detention Project also listed persons from Venezuela and Guyana to be frequent unauthorized immigrants due to this country's economic success.
And internationally, North Korea has once again attracted the attention of the United States. Here's why.
That latest provocative missile launch by North Korea, the ballistic missile flying right over Japan. The Japanese government taking this very seriously, warning people to take cover. Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz has much more on this from Washington. Martha, good morning.
Good morning, Amy. This was not only a provocative missile launch by North Korea, it was very frightening for Japanese citizens. They heard blaring sirens and got text alerts on their phones at dawn, telling them to shelter in sturdy buildings or underground because the government was so concerned about the possibility of an imminent attack. And while we have seen Kim Jong-un gleefully launching missiles into the Sea of Japan, this is the first time that this North Korean leader has launched a missile over Japan, traveling over the northern Japanese island of Hokkaido. In response, South Korean fighter jets staged a live bombing drill. They also released video of their own missile test, which was conducted last week. Now, Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe spoke by phone to President Trump. Both agreed the U.S. and Japan must increase pressure on North Korea. Amy?
All right, Martha Raddatz in Washington.
And now for the weather report. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and ch2headlinenews.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.